A chilling development has emerged from Oyo State, Ikoyi-Ile, and raised serious concerns about security in the region. Residents of this town in Oriire local government area are now living in fear after receiving not one but two handwritten letters from suspected bandits warning of an imminent attack scheduled for Tuesday, the 20th of January this year. These are not vague threats, but specific notices that have left families scrambling and communities on edge. The level of detail in these threats and the boldness with which they were delivered has created an atmosphere of terror that is affecting every aspect of daily life in the community. What makes this situation even more disturbing is that these bandits are not just threatening violence randomly. According to the letters that surfaced, they are accusing the residents of disobedience and refusing to pay levies. Yes, you heard that correctly. These criminals are demanding money from innocent citizens as if they have some kind of authority over them. And now they are threatening consequences for not complying. The audacity of it all is simply staggering, but this is the reality facing people in Ikoyi-Ile right now. It is as if these bandits have set up their own illegal taxation system and expect law-abiding citizens to submit to their criminal enterprise or face deadly consequences. This latest threat comes on the heels of a horrific incident that occurred just days ago in the same local government area. On Tuesday last week, gunmen suspected to be bandits launched an attack at the Old Oyo National Park located at Oloka Village, also in Oriire local government area. 5 people lost their lives in that senseless violence. 5 families were shattered. 5 futures were cut short. The pain from that attack has not even begun to heal, and now residents are being told that another assault is coming. The psychological trauma this creates cannot be overstated. These are communities that are still mourning their dead, still trying to process the horror of what happened, and yet they are being forced to confront the possibility of more violence, more loss, more grief. The 2 handwritten notes allegedly penned by these bandits have created an atmosphere of palpable fear throughout Ikoyi-Ile. Some residents have already begun fleeing the community, packing up whatever they can carry and seeking safety elsewhere. Can you imagine having to abandon your home, your livelihood, everything you have worked for because criminals have announced they are coming for you? This is not a movie script. This is happening right now in Oyo State. Parents are making the agonizing decision to send their children away to relatives in other towns. Elderly people who have lived in Ikoyi-Ile their entire lives are being forced to leave the only home they have ever known. Local leaders in the area are desperately appealing for security intervention, reaching out to authorities and pleading for protection before Tuesday arrives. The situation in Oriire local government area highlights a disturbing pattern of criminal activity that appears to be escalating. These bandits are operating with a level of boldness that suggests they feel emboldened, perhaps even untouchable. Writing letters to announce attacks shows a brazen disregard for law enforcement and a confidence that is deeply troubling. It raises questions about the security architecture in the region and what is being done to protect citizens from these marauding criminals who seem to move freely and strike at will. How did we get to a point where criminals can send advance notice of their intentions and still feel confident enough that they will be able to carry out their plans? What does this say about the state of security in the area? For the residents of Ikoyi-Ile, every passing day brings them closer to the date mentioned in those letters. Tuesday the 20th is not some distant threat, but an approaching deadline that hangs over the community like a dark cloud. Parents are worried about their children. Business owners are wondering if they should even open their shops. Farmers are afraid to go to their fields. The entire rhythm of life in the community has been disrupted by this threat, and the anxiety is mounting with each sunset. Markets that would normally be bustling with activity are now quiet. Schools are facing difficult decisions about whether to remain open or close temporarily for the safety of students. The economic impact of this fear is also significant as businesses lose revenue and daily wage earners find themselves unable to work. The fact that these bandits are demanding levies adds another disturbing dimension to the situation. It suggests a level of organization and a long-term strategy rather than just opportunistic violence. These criminals are attempting to establish a parallel system of authority where they collect money from communities and punish those who refuse to pay. This is essentially a protection racket taken to its most extreme and violent conclusion. If this is allowed to continue, it could set a dangerous precedent where other criminal groups in other areas adopt similar tactics, leading to a breakdown of law and order across multiple communities. If you have been following this channel and finding value in the updates we bring you, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss important news like this. Your support helps us continue bringing you stories that matter and keeping you informed about developments across the nation. We are committed to keeping you updated on this situation and others like it because staying informed is the first step towards demanding accountability and change. The response from security agencies will be critical in the coming days. Will there be a visible presence of law enforcement in Ikoyi-Ile before Tuesday? Will measures be put in place to protect the community and prevent the threatened attack from materializing? These are questions that residents are asking with increasing urgency as the deadline approaches. The earlier incident at Oloka village, where 5 people were killed, has already demonstrated that these threats should be taken seriously and that the bandits are capable of following through on their warnings. The time for reactive responses has passed. What is needed now is proactive security deployment, intelligence gathering, and a clear strategy to protect the community and apprehend these criminals before they can strike again. The emotional toll on the people of Ikoyi-Ile cannot be measured simply in numbers or statistics. There is the grandmother who cannot sleep at night, wondering if her grandchildren will be safe. There is the young man who had plans and dreams for his future, but now wonders if he will even have a future. There is the shopkeeper who has invested everything into a small business and now faces the prospect of losing it all. There are children who are too young to fully understand what is happening, but can sense the fear in their parents' voices and see the worry etched on their faces. These human stories behind the headlines remind us that security is not just about policies and strategies, but about real people whose lives hang in the balance. Community leaders have been vocal in their appeals for help, but appeals alone will not stop bullets or deter criminals who have already shown they are willing to kill. What is needed is concrete action, boots on the ground, intelligence operations to track down these criminals, and a commitment from all levels of government to make the safety of Ikoyi-Ile residents a priority. The people deserve more than sympathy and promises. They deserve protection, and they deserve it now, before Tuesday arrives and before another tragedy unfolds. As we await what Tuesday will bring, the hope is that swift and decisive action will be taken to protect the residents of Ikoyi-Ile and to send a clear message to these criminals that their reign of terror will not be tolerated. Communities deserve to live in peace, children deserve to grow up without fear, and citizens deserve the protection that is their fundamental right. What are your thoughts on this developing situation? How do you think authorities should respond to these brazen threats? Share your perspectives in the comments below and let us know what you think can be done to address the security challenges facing communities like Ikoyi-Ile. Your voice matters in these conversations because collective pressure can lead to action. Stay safe, everyone, stay informed, and keep your loved ones close during these uncertain times.